Welcome to Stasisen. And as usual, there are plenty of things I wish I had known before I did them. And one of those was the illegal cargo. Smuggling, drug running, call it what you will. There are some locations across the world that may sell you these goodies. And there are a couple of locations where you can actually even sell them to. Most prominent, of course, being the Grim Hex. There are more places to buy the drugs from than to sell them to. And not even all drugs may be worth your time. There are 3 locations that I would actually sell the drugs to. Now, getting them is usually not a problem. You can find vendors on some of these plants that have locations like private property, the jump down, or just some hidden location where you can buy it from. So, what is worth buying? There are 2 main types, which is the Widow and the Neon. Now you can sell some others as well at Grimhex, like Etam or Etam or whatever it is, and I really wouldn't touch anything else. There of course are some more like Slam, Altrucatoxin, the Maze, but personally I think if you stick to these 3, or even maybe just 2, you'll do just fine. Buying everything I've listed here is not the problem. Trying to sell it, of course, will be. First of all, you will most likely be able to buy around 10 times as much as you can sell at any given time, basically. Now, you don't want to buy everything, of course, but there are several ways of doing this. One, you can try to fly between wherever you're buying your stuff and delivering it to Grim Hex. There is good and bad with the drug trade. Drug trade is one of those few trades you can do with this low-end cargo ship or even medium cargo ship like Miss Freelancer or Great Cutlass Black. That is because the locations that want to buy these goods off of you will at maximum buy 800 or so units worth. And after that, after around every 5 minutes, you can sell another 200 units or so. That for me usually means that I shouldn't have any illegal cargo more than 10 SCUs units worth. That is maximum 1000 units. Traveling to Grimhex and back to wherever you bought your goodies from can be kinda dull in the end. But there are other ways you can trade as well. For example, still the Neon, which is one of the more flexible drugs, let's say, can be sold to several different locations. So theoretically, you could fill your ship up and just travel between these locations. First, of course, being the Grim Hex. Then we have the Hurston Reclamation and Disposal. We have the Red Wind Hidden Delivery location, and we can even deliver it to the Jump Down. There are of course few other locations as well where you can sell it, but this gives us an idea. We can just buy a shipload of neon and travel between these different outposts selling it. Now it doesn't mean you can sell massive amounts into each location, but you might just be able to sell most of your goods if you fill up a ship like Grey Cutlass Black. But okay, where do you buy drugs? If you truly have not figured that out yet, then there's a bunch of these shady locations like Waste Management, Stash House, maybe Orphanage. There are plenty of these locations. NT999XX. These are just for all kinds of different drugs. If you're going after specific like Neon or Etam or Widow or something, well, these have a lot of different things to offer. Usually if you're doing like a Neon run, you want a specific location that can give you at least a first location. Most of these things you will need to trade to Grim Hex if you plan to do a run of multiple different goods on your one ship, because that location accepts wide variety of goods. While with something like Neon, you can actually go for a bit bigger run. It doesn't mean you can't do same with Etam as an example, because there should be around 2 locations that accept it if I remember correctly. Or even Widow, which has also equally wide variety of locations to sell to. The problem is that you just can't sell your whole stash if you have around 10 cargo units in your ship. There definitely is some money to be made with illegal cargo. The problem is you need to move around actively, visit all the places you can sell to if you plan to do a run of bigger sorts. For using any type of website or application for your illegal cargo, usually it will sometimes miscalculate or have troubles calculating itself. I would suggest asking around Reddit. Players usually know what they're doing. You can also visit the original website, or what is it, the starcitizen.tools. That will also give you some basic understanding what you can buy from where by just typing in the name of the commodity. It can also give you some ideas where to sell, but they all may not be up to date. Some of these locations may pay out better, some may pay out worse, and some locations I suggest avoiding. Location like CRUL4. It will bite, but it will give you less than half the money you spent on it usually. There's probably a lot more to it. This was just to give some basic understanding what there is, where there is, and usually where I go for my information. I mean, there are plenty of these apps and websites to help you trade, but I just prefer the StarCitizen tools because I get the most amount of information there. It's just simple to look at all the goods that you can see. It will give you their estimates, but they're usually off quite a bit. It's just good to see you can buy from there, sell it there, how it works. There's a lot more to it, and there's probably a lot more locations than I listed here, but this was just to give some of the basic understanding of it. Anyway, thanks for watching.